Welcome to the next instalment of my Sri Lanka vlogs, and in this week's video I've pushed further north. So I'm in central Sri Lanka at the moment in the city of Kandy. Last week's video focused entirely on Adams Peak, but now I'm pushing further north into the country, so really excited with what it's got to offer really. But let's start with Kandy. I've only really got one day to explore this place. I don't think it's going to be a photography highlight of my trip. Mainly because it's the most urbanised area we've come to, and it represents quite a step change from the rest of the trip. So from landscape photography perspective, it doesn't really offer all that much. Having said that, there's probably still things that I can work with here. To start the day, we've actually just come down to the botanical gardens, which are really beautiful, so peaceful and relaxing, and I would actually put them up there with one of the best botanical gardens I've been to. So really nice way to start the day. From here on in, we're going to actually visit some sort of temples in the centre of town. Generally just have a bit of a mooch around and explore, so looking forward to that. Visit the botanical gardens here is peaceful and relaxing, but do have to watch out for bat crap. There's apparently 24,000 fruit bats here, so yeah, it feels like a game of Russian roulette with the bats when you walk under any tree. My photography bag has already had some crap land on it. So yeah, if you ever come to these gardens, keep that firmly in mind. I've now come to the end of exploring Kandy in the one day that I had allocated to here, and I have to say one day is probably actually enough for the place. Overall my impressions have been good and I've enjoyed it. It's been a real nice contrast to the rest of the itinerary, but I don't feel the place has more to offer that would justify allocating more days in my itinerary to it. I felt one day was enough to see the main sites and get a good feel for it. So yeah, for those that have a limited time at their disposal, I think you're better spending your time elsewhere personally. I would also say, photographically speaking, it's not the kind of place where I would tend to excel in. So I kind of struggled today. I didn't particularly take a huge amount of shots, and those that I did take, I kind of felt a little indifferent to. It may be the case that when I'm home I actually feel differently, but yeah, at the moment photographically it wasn't a great day, but exploring the city was great and I did enjoy it. But yeah, tomorrow we move on, and we're going north to Habarana, which is a 3-hour bus journey from here. When we're there, there's tons to see up there, lots of historical sites. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that, and I feel very much ready to move on now. We've now made it to Habarana, and first impressions are pretty good. It's definitely hotter up here, but the climate feels slightly drier, so perhaps the heat will be more bearable. We'll wait and see on that front. But our lodge looks really good. If I just spin you around, it's kind of almost got the feel of a tree house in the woods. Turn around that side as well. Really great, and we've got it all to ourselves at the moment. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really nice place to stay. But as for activities in this area, we've got 4 days here, but the more I've looked into it, the more I've realised that it may not actually be enough. There's so much to do here that I think every hour is going to be jam-packed, and for that reason we've got a number of hours free on this day, which I had just allocated as a travel day. But we're actually going to go out to a nearby attraction called Pidurangala Rock. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is located 1 kilometre away from the famous Sigiriya Rock, which is the big tourist attraction in this area. And this rock is meant to actually give a fantastic panoramic view down over neighbouring Sigiriya Rock, and actually many say that it gives better views than the main attraction itself. So I'm really looking forward to this. We'll be heading out there shortly, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get some sort of nice sunset in that area. You know, when I said that I thought the heat might be a little bit more bearable here, well, I couldn't actually be more wrong. It's absolutely sweltering here, so warm. We've just started our climb up Pidurangala. I'm about 5 minutes into this climb and I've turned into a sweaty mess already, which doesn't bode well at all. But hopefully the hard work will be rewarded with a beautiful sunset. We've got to the top and the actual climb's pretty easy overall, although having said that, the actual last sort of 5 minutes of it involved kind of almost clambering over huge boulders. That was a little bit tricky, but by and large it wasn't too bad. But look what we've been rewarded with. Look behind me. Incredible. So what you can see in the backdrop there, that is Sigiriya Rock. That is the prominent and most famous attraction in this entire area. So I've actually set up my first composition, and it's right here, and I'm framing Sigiriya and the mountains that you can just see off to the side of it, and I think it works really actually quite nicely. So I'm shooting this at f13, about 10th of a second, ISO 64 at about 105mm. So the sun has actually just set, just producing really nice light on the side of the monument. So far, very impressive. So that's it, the sun has finally set, and what a location this is. Fabulous. Really happy with the shot that I managed to grab over there, but I actually did get another shot a little bit over on the top of this rock plateau. There's a giant boulder that sits on top of here, and I managed to put that in the foreground and keep Sigiriya and the mountains in the background, and I think that composition worked quite well too. So essentially I think I've come out of this with potentially 2 decent shots, which is a good start to the north. What a way to be introduced to this incredible part of Sri Lanka. What I would say is though that this is something I've observed having travelled around India and now having been in Sri Lanka for a number of days, is that the sunsets are always a little bit lacklustre here. It's like there's so much haze or pollution in the air, it could be pollution, I'm not sure, that I tend to find that the light at sunset isn't actually that fantastic. The strength in the sun gets sucked away very early, so you tend to find by the time that the sun gets anywhere near the actual horizon, all the good light tends to be gone. So I actually found tonight that some of the best light conditions were far in advance to the actual sun getting close to the horizon, and yeah, it kind of threw me a little bit. I found that my usual methods for taking sunset pictures were kind of found wanting somewhat here. But having said that, it's such an incredible location that it didn't really matter. You could take a picture on pretty much any camera here and it would look fantastic. Today we're heading out to the nearby ancient city of Polonnaruwa, which sits about 40 or so kilometres away from here. And this is somewhere that's been highly recommended to us by numerous people during our time here, so very much looking forward to getting out there. Apparently it's absolutely jam-packed with ancient ruins, temples and carvings, all within quite a condensed area, which makes it very easy to explore. So yeah, this it should be a really good day. The only thing that I'm slightly apprehensive about is the weather forecast for today is forecasting temperatures pushing up to 36 degrees with very high humidity. So these look like they're going to be the most extreme temperatures we have faced so far here. and I've been struggling to deal with the heat, to be honest. So yeah, I'm a bit apprehensive about this. The other difficulty is because it's 40 or so kilometres away, it's very difficult to get there very early in the day, plus it takes about 4 to 5 hours to actually explore these ruins. So we're going to be facing the full force of the midday sun here, I think. We're now back from the Polonnaruwa ruins, and today was stupidly hot. It was ridiculous. I was actually going to film some vlog videos out at the ruins, but the conditions were just ridiculous. I was producing unnatural amounts of perspiration, so I didn't think it was appropriate to be shooting the vlog videos. I didn't personally feel up to it, plus I didn't really want to put you guys off your dinner. It wasn't great. I was drenched with sweat. It was extremely challenging. I was finding when I was taking the pictures, sweat was going into my eyes, stinging my eyes. I couldn't see. My viewfinder on the camera was coated in a thick mixture of sweat and sun cream. It was ludicrous. I'm pretty sure I probably got more sunburn today as well, because the sun cream just wouldn't stay on me. Just sweated it all off straight away. It was savagely hot. It really, really was. However, the ruins themselves, very, very impressive. I was blown away by them, actually. I kind of went in with almost low expectations of what the ruins would be like, because I've seen ruins in a lot of places around the world, and yeah, you can almost get a bit of fatigue with these kind of things after a while. But yeah, these ruins are really quite good. They're really interesting to walk around, really well preserved, and above all, really quite quiet. There really wasn't many people there. At times, at certain parts of the actual complex, it kind of felt like you had it to yourself, and that was an amazing feeling. I'm not sure whether that's just because the ruins themselves aren't popular, or whether it's because we're here in the shoulder season when the tourist numbers are starting to die down a bit. It could be a combination of both, perhaps. But yeah, what a place. It was fantastic. I took an awful lot of shots today. There was compositions galore all over the place, both wide angle but also the intimate compositions closer into the scene. I was spoilt for choice, to be honest. Now we've only got 2 days left in the trip, and then it's time for home, which is a little bit depressing. So yeah, I'm going to have to maximise those 2 days and really make the best possible use I can of them. But I'm going to cover those final days in my final Sri Lankan video, which I'll bring to you shortly. But yeah, that brings to a conclusion this particular video and the first few days in the north of the country, and I've been thoroughly impressed by it. If you've enjoyed watching this and you want to see my next Sri Lankan video, which should be coming to you very shortly, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, take care.